Welcome to the ChuggieBets College Football Podcast. This is week, I don't fucking know, 12, 13, something like that. It's just going
Week
to be me
World Cup.
and Danny tonight. So, without further ado, let's kick this thing off. We're chugging a beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Who's ready to chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks? Welcome to Chuggy Bets.
All right, so first things first, we're going to recap last week's picks. Andy and Matt aren't with us tonight. Matt might pop in later. I last week went 7-4, won my chuggy bet. I can't be stopped. I'm a machine. Andy went 4-1-1, and he won his chuggy bet. Danny, a solid 7-6 week, beating that coin flip. Won his
Just call
chuggy
me
bet.
the coin.
Yeah. And then Matt also went 3-2. So everybody had winning weeks. So good job, everyone, all around. I know Thanksgiving is approaching here. If you listen to our NFL podcast, which we put out earlier this week already, Matt and I discussed our favorite Thanksgiving plates. That's 4 items that are on your plate for Thanksgiving. I think mine was turkey, mac and cheese, green bean casserole, and stuffing, which is a solid plate. But Danny, I wanted to give you an opportunity to let us know what's on your Thanksgiving plate.
So you got to be more specific. One of the things you guys lacked was specificity in
Specificity.
your specificity. In like you just say turkey. Like, do you want oven roasted turkey? Do you want deep fried turkey? In
Yeah.
my house, when you come to my house, you're getting yourself a deep fried turkey, and that shit's gonna be good. It's gonna be
Yeah.
juicy. It's
I
gonna be
love deep
crispy
fried
on the
turkey.
outside. You're gonna get crispy skin. You're gonna get juicy meat. That's what you're getting in my house. That's number one. That's number
Okay.
one on your number two on your plate is you're going to get what's called corn casserole. All right. Some of you guys know about corn casserole. It's
Is it
okay.
like corn pudding?
It's kind of like corn pudding, but it's not as creamy as corn pudding. All right.
Okay.
It's more like cornbread than corn pudding. All right. So like you could pick it up and eat it if you sliced it like cornbread, but you really want to have it with a fork. Let me just tell you that it's like perfect eat with a fork corn pudding if it was cornbread. All
Okay.
right. It's sweet, but it's not
Yeah.
so creamy that you don't want. It's like it doesn't have too much cream in it. Corn casserole is the best side at Thanksgiving by far. It's always the first thing gone.
I love it. I love that you're like,
Always the
you're
first
not
thing
going
gone.
with the tried and trues. You're pulling out something unique. I love it.
Yes.
What's number 3 on the plate?
So number three on my plate is going to be sweet potato casserole, but I'm not going marshmallows on top. Fuck you
Yeah.
with your
Fuck the
marshmallows on top.
marshmallows. Fuck the
You
marshmallows.
always, if you have marshmallows on top, I just pass completely on your sweet potatoes. I want sweet potato pie before I want your sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top. I want the brown sugar crust on top of my sweet potatoes. If there's no
My
brown sugar crust on top of my sweet potatoes, then I don't want my sweet potatoes.
my sister-in-law would take like granola and do like a brown sugar granola like crumble topping on sweet potatoes, and
Dude,
that's
you
like
put
the best thing
granola,
I've ever
brown
had.
sugar, pecans all mixed together. My
Yeah.
mom does it real simple. My mom does it real simple, and it's really good. It's just butter and brown sugar, and that
Hell
shit is
yeah.
good. It's a lot of sugar.
I love it.
And I don't know if you know me, but like I don't eat a lot of sugar anymore because look at fucking look at me.
You look good, bud.
Now, but all
Yeah.
right, look at
Yeah.
me 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't eat a lot of sugar anymore, but yeah,
You make an exception for the sweet potatoes.
I make an exception for those sweet potatoes. They're so good. Anyway, and my
Number
fourth
4.
favorite, oh dude, uh, grandma beer mashed potato and gravy recipe. It's kind of a cheater. My aunt Mary Beth Beer and grandma makes mashed potatoes Breath mixed gravy, but you mix those two together. You put the mashed potatoes. Fuck, you would die for it. Oh God, Al, I want
Mm.
you to come to my house for Thanksgiving so you can eat this mashed potatoes gravy. It's the best. But fine mashed potatoes, the gravy alone, like you wouldn't like this gravy on the turn. It's okay, but you put this gravy together, it's just oh my God, oh, it's the best. I love my Aunt Mary Beth. I love my grandma. But you put these two together, they're the best. So Aunt Mary Beth,
It's like
make that fucking
they're
gravy
like
dish
the
again.
Power Rangers of the Thanksgiving dinner plate.
Exactly. When our powers combined, I can only hope that we can make the mashed potatoes as well as Grandma Bierman used to.
Yeah. Oh, mashed potatoes are a solid, like underrated Thanksgiving side performer.
Speaking of mashed
Um,
potatoes, I got to tell you about a mashed potato fail that happened one time at a Friendsgiving with Matt and I that was hilarious. Friends, we had a huge Friendsgiving, and mashed potatoes are one of the uh, biggest things that you have to bring, right? It's like a star of the show.
yeah, you gotta have
And
it.
one of our friends' girlfriends said, "I'll make the mashed potatoes." She raised her hand, "I'll make the mashed potatoes," and all of our friends were like looking at her like, "Are you gonna make the mashed potatoes? Okay, you're gonna do it." She she didn't add salt, bro.
It was
She
just potato, just straight
It
up
was
potato. Was there
potato.
butter?
I don't know if she added butter or not.
Because
Like I couldn't
if you didn't add salt,
taste.
you're like not thinking to even add butter, right? It's just straight up just potato. Just brought cooked potato.
Dude, they were potatoes. It was the
That's
worst.
bad.
Like people were like putting them in their mouth
Oh.
and going, "Bleh." Like it was the worst mashed potato ever. And she was not with him much longer after that.
That was the deal breaker.
I honestly
You
think
gotta
so.
have salt in your life.
I honestly think that was. I mean, it's a 2-year
Yeah,
relationship, and then she was gone. So
yeah. See, that's
sorry,
all it
bro.
takes. You fuck up mashed potatoes one time, you're done. um,
Let's move on. Let's move on.
yeah. Actually, before though, Danny, give me your what's your favorite drink? If like, what's your first drink on Thanksgiving Day? Like,
Ooh,
what is it? What are
Thanksgiving.
you
So
drinking?
this was another thing you guys were talking about. So you guys were like super late to drinking on Thanksgiving. The Bierman family, when the parade starts, 9 a.m. Eastern time, parade starts, we all have a drink in our hand. Mama Bierman opens the
Yeah,
wine like when the parade starts, like she's ready. And if the wine's not going, like Austin and Danny already have beers open. Like if
yeah,
Mama doesn't have the wine open, then already have beers open. So like 9 a.m. is our time for sure. Is like the time to start. Absolutely. And then like
yeah,
the first drink for me, like I'm trying to like salute my mom along with whatever bottle of wine she drinks. So like Matt was right with like the early white wine on Thanksgiving. That's like a thing for even
yeah.
for men, like the white wine on Thanksgiving. Or I stick to light beer these days to try and like you know keep my beautiful slim physique.
Hell yeah,
But that's about all I
yeah.
got.
So
Like yeah, light.
white wine's good. You know, it's also good at a strip club.
Yeah,
That's
the white wine in the strip club. I actually listened to I actually listened to the post that you guys already had. White wine in the strip club. Al, dude, that is one of the best stories I've ever heard. Is that like at a bachelor party,
it's
you
very
have
good.
one early deal. You're at the airport when you're heading out, and you're like, yeah, I'll have a white wine whenever you buy it for me. You're thinking like, oh, I just got to chug a white wine right away. No problem. You buy me a white wine anytime. It's gone. And then the dude buys it
Yeah,
for you when you show up at the strip club after you're hammered and you can't chug it because you're already hammered. That was a good move by that guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was yeah, he nailed that one. Props,
Yeah.
Mike. All right, let's get into the picks. So we're a little late to action this week, so we don't have any Tuesday night plays. But our first play of the week is
Actually, we
going to
picked them
be
both correctly. You just got to check our.
Yeah, the game's just already happened, so it's pretty easy to
Yeah,
pick the winners in those ones. um, we do
that's
have
a
a
lie.
Thursday
I'm
night
sorry.
matchup though. Mississippi State at Ole Miss. Danny, you got to play in that one. It looks like.
Mississippi State, Ole Miss. How do you think I'm going to play this out?
Yeah, you're definitely taking the over.
Yeah. So, if you know anything about me, I love me some Lane Kiffin. Were you on Twitter this weekend at all? Out?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah. So
the
Lane,
rumor he's going to Auburn, and then the sassy retort he had where he
screw the
Lane
sassy
Kiffin
retort.
breaking
Just,
news that
just he's the best. He's the best.
he's
So
so good. He's very
he's
good.
he's just my favorite, and I know that like there were huge rumors that he was coming to our school last year, and all I wanted was for him to come. It would have been also just for him to come, but uh, I just wanted him
I'm
for
gonna
him to come
come.
to our school. I would just wanted him for him to come to our school. It would have been the best because him down in Miami with no fucks to give would have been awesome. Like
Yeah,
just with a massive contract that we could not have fired him from, like that we could not have afforded to fire him from, would have been
yeah.
just the best. With him on social media, with a school that couldn't fire him, God, that would have been
I
amazing.
just
But
yeah. If you
I
didn't
think
hear
he's
the
enjoying
yeah,
I think he's enjoying Ole Miss, man. I think he likes the fan base. I think he likes the boosters. I
yeah,
thought honestly, I made this joke a little while ago. The only reason he would have gone to Auburn is because it's about 25 miles closer to the Panhandle.
yeah,
So he's a little closer to the Gulf Coast.
yeah,
Uh, I think he's digging Ole Miss, man. I think he likes
yeah.
the history
The
there.
lack
So
of
I think he's gonna stick
pressure.
for a while.
Yeah. I if you're uninitiated, so there was a rumor, somebody broke a rumor on Twitter that Lane Kiffin was going to leave Ole Miss for Auburn. Lane Kiffin denied that in the most Lane Kiffin way possible. He posted that that reporter had been was switching news stations with no evidence, and he had this big like press release that he took a picture of and posted online, basically stating that that reporter is going to switch jobs without any evidence behind it. And so I
Yeah,
just love the sass,
It
Lane Kiffin's
it's the
sass.
best. It's the best. Lane's the
Beautiful.
best, and because Lane's the best, I take Lane minus whatever the points are. I don't care. Also over 59 because Lane's going to score 59 all by himself.
Oh, you wanna lay the points with Ole Miss too?
I'm doing both. I'm doing both. I'm taking the over and I'm laying the points with Ole Miss.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
I'm I you know what? Parlay them. Parlay them.
Ole Miss -2. Perfect. Um, so that takes care of the Thursday night game, which that should be a good one. I'm excited. I'm gonna watch that on Thanksgiving night instead of the Kirk Cousins show.
Dude, why
Uh,
would you sorry, sorry,
why
sorry.
not
Just
put
to
them
get
both
back
on,
to
right?
the NFL game. Why would you bet on Kirk Cousins in prime time, Al?
Because the Patriots are very bad, and the Vikings just got their asses stomped, so they're out for blood. It makes sense.
All right,
It'll
when you
happen.
put it that
Don't
way.
worry.
When you put it
Trust
that way.
trust the process. Hashtag trust the process.
Buddy, when you put it that way, okay, fine. But like why would you risk the
I know
big
it's
beer
not a
on
one
that?
o'clock window. I
But
know.
why would you risk the big beer on that?
Yeah, because it's. I feel good about it. I feel good about
So
it.
like
Don't
I
worry.
love I love like all your picks, but like this one, like I don't feel good about risking like the big ice house
Yeah,
on Kirk Cousins in prime time. Like it just doesn't feel good to me.
it's okay. It's okay. You don't have
Okay.
to follow. You don't have to make money on that one.
No,
It's
I'm gonna
okay.
fade. I'm gonna fade.
That actually makes me feel better. Good.
I'm glad it does. Actually, that's all right. Yep,
That makes
that all
sense.
makes sense. That all tracks. That all tracks. All right, let's move
um,
on to the Michigan game.
yeah, we got some Black
Not the
Friday.
one that you're thinking.
Yeah, we got Black Friday noon action. There's 5 different games going on Friday at noon. So FYI, if you're doing Black Friday shopping, why on earth would you do it in person? Get that shit done at like midnight on Thanksgiving when you're drunk and you're tired and the day's over. Just knock that out in like 20 minutes online. That way you can be sitting in front of the couch on Friday watching
Just
Central
really drive
Michigan
to
and
buy
Eastern
shit
Michigan.
for you.
Yeah, so the battle of the directional schools in Michigan. I'm taking Eastern Michigan +2 at home against the Chippewas. So that's my pick. Um, Danny, you are going to Western Michigan, who's hosting Toledo. What's your play there?
Oh yeah, I'm taking Toledo -7.5 because fuck Western, go schools that start with T. I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't know which school's name starts with T between Toledo and Tulsa and all the other ones that start with T. But I
Tulane.
feel like
Yeah,
yeah, Tulane. I think Tulane's the good one. I don't know if Toledo's the bad one, but I feel like if Toledo's laying points, they're probably one of the good ones. I know Western Michigan's one of the bad ones, so I'm going to lay the points.
yeah. Tulane's also playing in this time slot. I'm actually fading Tulane this week, taking Cincinnati -2 at home against Tulane. Um, so that's a fun one. So you get all your T's going out early here. Another game that we don't have a play in is
I would like to say,
yeah,
dumbass, fading Tulane, but
yeah. Well,
I'm not gonna take the other side of that. But I'd like to say, dumbass, fading Tulane.
yeah.
Don't fade the T
Another
schools that are
game
good.
that we don't have a play in this one. Utah State, Boise State. It seems like a good spot to bet on Boise State, but I did that
I
last
would.
week and they burned me for the third time this year. They've only lost, I think, 3 games, and I think I bet on them in all their losses, or at least they didn't cover. I don't know. Maybe they didn't lose last week. I don't remember.
So
So
Friday's gonna depend
Boise
on
State
how
bites me.
much my wife's gonna make me pay attention to my kids around noon, and how much noon is not a time I'm going to be trying to be a dad, because 2 o'clock is the time I'm going to be trying to be a dad, or not trying to be a dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because two is the USA game. I'm trying to be like,
yeah, for sure.
you know what I mean? I'm going to be trying to like do everything I can to be like, oh, I'm doing all the stuff, and
You've
then and push it to two. So but noon, as far as like games I'm watching, the Utah
yeah,
State Boise State. If I have to watch it, and I have a lot of stuff going on, and say Utah State scores a touchdown early, I'm totally betting Boise right away.
yeah. And there's a big game. Well, the big game of the noon slate on Friday is Baylor at Texas, and you've got to play in that one too, right?
Yeah, that's an easy one that I'm betting early, mostly because I'm betting Baylor +9. I gotta pick Baylor, so my so my dad can be happy. I keep I keep picking Texas, and every time I do, they lose. I've said this before. I want my dad to be happy, and I'm picking
Yeah,
Baylor
your
so
dad's a
that way.
Texas alum, right?
Yeah, my dad and mom are both UT Austin alums, and fade
Yeah.
hashtag fade Danny. I want them to be happy. I'm picking Baylor +9.
You
That's
know,
all I got.
that's
That's it.
that's what people look for in their gambling advice is the plays that they want to fade because your parents went to school at the team you're fading, reverse fading.
Hashtag sorry dad.
Hashtag sorry dad.
That's all I
Oh,
got.
so let's be real here. Friday 3:30 window. I'm not going to be watching these games, at least not in the first half. I'm going to be watching the US do
Oh hell
its
yeah.
best
3:30.
attempt at staving off England.
Depends on how many goals England scores in the first half for 3:30.
Yeah, yeah, it might be worth it turning off at 3:30. But in this slate, we're kicking off, starting off with NC State, North Carolina. I'm laying 6.5 with North Carolina. I'm just a Drake May believer. NC State's just trash this year. I don't know why this is less than a touchdown. It should be probably 2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna
What do you like
follow
in this
you
one?
on that. I'm gonna follow
Yeah.
you on that. I'm also gonna take the over. I'm gonna do both of those together. So I'm gonna do the -6.5. I'm also gonna do the over 56. And I'm also probably going to do the team total over North Carolina. I'm a Drake May believer. Basically, I'm trying to prove that I'm more of a Drake May believer than you're a Drake May believer by taking all three Drake May believer lines that I can.
Tripling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yeah. Basically, I just believe that UNC's offense is really good, and NC State's super underwhelming this year. So I'm gonna take all the ways that I can bet on it.
Yeah. Um, if you listen to this podcast, we love us some low totals. And so I'm gonna get a little fast and loose with some of these totals this week, starting with under 38.5 in Nebraska, Iowa. Do I think it's gonna hit? I don't know. Whenever I see these totals dip into the 30s, I'm always like, oh man, I don't know, it's too low. And then the final ends up being like 13-10. This thing was never in doubt. Why didn't I bet it? So fuck it. This is the week I'm betting all these stupidly low totals. So Nebraska, Iowa under 38.5. Lock that one in. Um, Another pick I really like is Arizona State versus Arizona. I'm laying the 4 points with Arizona at home against the Sun Devils. Arizona has been a feisty one this year. This is a rivalry week matchup that just says they're gonna come to put on a show. So Arizona -4 is the play for me.
So I have a pick in the 7:30 window on Friday, and it's really just straight up. I don't really even know the line on this game right now.
Nine and a
Uh,
half.
we
Nine
did
and a
some
half.
research. We did some research. We looked at it. It was Florida versus Florida State. We Nobody knows the line right now, but I'm gonna lay or take whatever the points are because fuck the Gators. Fuck you. You're just Jets fans in disguise. Fuck you.
Ooh,
Fuck you.
bad
You're the
bad
worst.
color combo.
You're the
Bad
worst.
color combo.
You're the worst. You're the worst. You're the
Yeah.
worst. Look at look at me. Look at me. You're Jets fans in disguise. Bleh. I hate you. I hate you, Florida fans. You're the worst.
Oh, yeah. There
That's
you
it.
go. There you have it. FSU -9.5. Danny's
That's it.
locking it in.
Also Travis is really good. And
Yeah.
people think that Richardson's really good, and he really is. But they don't think Travis is really good, but he really is. So like
Yeah. I
that's
don't.
why the
I don't know what to make of that game. I don't like the line where it is. I feel like if Florida gets up for it, they can cover that. But if FSU is just like screw this,
oh
then they can cover it easy. So I'm not touching it. But I'll probably check in on it for sure. It'll be on my TV for sure because it's UF
ten's a
and
lot. Ten's
it's
a
always on.
lot, man.
They're always on
Ten's a
TV here.
lot, especially FSU at home. Ten's a lot, especially with. I mean, Richardson can cover 10 easy. They could win that game, no problem. And most of the time, when
Ooh,
somebody's down 9.5, and I think they could win, I bet them. But
man.
fuck you, Jets fans. You're just wearing green or blue and orange. You're just wearing blue and orange, and I hate you. Fuck you, Jets fans wearing blue and orange. Fuck you. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh my God. Danny's family was murdered by gators, apparently. Um, there's
That's it.
do we run the risk of having some serious like sports overload this weekend? We've got NFL action, college football action, World Cup action, college
Bro,
basketball action, NBA action, hockey action, if that's your style. There's too much going on. It's crazy.
I got
It's a
so
lot.
much action. I got so much action.
You
Not
could
with my wife,
probably
but like real like sports action, like
I mean, we
gambling
got
stuff.
we got football games going past midnight. We got soccer matches starting at 5 a.m. There's like very little room for sleeping if you're like an addict and wanting to watch all of these games.
You know who
Um,
has room for sleeping but won't? Jake Hayner. And I'm gonna lay the points.
yeah, Fresno State, they got their QB back, right? And they've been dominating since. They're hosting Wyoming in the Friday night matchup at 10 p.m. You and I are both laying 15 with Fresno State. I'm pretty sure
You're
we
doing
could
it too?
talk. Yeah, for
I
sure.
didn't even know you were. I didn't even know
Yeah,
you were. Yeah,
I'm
we're
I'm
both
pretty
laying these
sure we
15.
could I'm pretty sure we could talk Matt and Andy into cycloning this if they were here.
Dude, let's just call it
So
a tornado then. You and
it's
me,
a it's a
it's a
it's a
tornado.
lot of it's a lot of points for Andy to lay, but I bet we could talk him into it.
Dude, Andy will lay points. I could talk Andy into laying anything.
Okay, and into the Saturday slate. We're gonna kick things off. So the early game was going to be Virginia Tech. That one's been canceled. Obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Those teams are just hanging it up. The noon slate starts with Western Kentucky and Florida Atlantic, and I am going to lay the 7 with the Hilltoppers. Is that what they are?
Yeah.
That big red
I don't like them.
monstrosity as a mascot. I love him.
Yeah.
Red Grimace. Yeah, Western Kentucky's got their shit together. I'm not afraid of FAU, so I'm laying that touchdown there. And then the big one, big noon Saturday, the big matchup of the week. Rivalry week, Michigan at Ohio State. I am laying 7.5 with Ohio State. And Danny, you are on the other side, aren't you?
Yes, yes. Actually, I'm taking the 7.5. Why am I taking the 7.5? Really, I just have this voice in my head. It keeps going over and over and over and over and over again. It keeps going. Too many points. Too many points. Too many points. Too many points. And Andy is fucking right. This is too many points. So Andy's saying this is too many points in my head. So I'm gonna say it's too many points. I don't know what his numbers say at all. So don't take this as an Andy play. This is just
Yeah.
me thinking this is too many points.
I this is more a fade Michigan than a backing Ohio State play. I think Ohio State's good. I haven't really been able to watch them enough.
I've watched
Michigan,
them a little.
though,
Ohio
Michigan
State is.
has
I've watched them a little. Ohio State is very good. They're very good.
Michigan does not impress me. They run the ball, and that is it. Their defense is good.
I agree
They
with you on
they cannot
everything you're
produce
saying.
offensively, and I think Ohio State's and I think didn't Blake Corum just get hurt, and like he's their top running back, and so I don't know
He's
what
gonna
Michigan's
play
going to
though.
do offensively.
He's gonna play though.
Is he?
I mean, word on the street. I mean, I don't have like a
Okay.
medical. I don't have a medical
I
diagnosis
mean, is
here in
that the
front of me that
rumor though
says
that he's
Blake
still going to
Corum.
play?
Blake Corum's gonna play. Like, yeah. Word is he's gonna play.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, man, nothing about Michigan scares me if I'm Ohio State.
Nothing about
Um,
Ohio State scares me if I'm Michigan, says my wife.
ooh,
Sorry,
sassy.
my
Um,
wife.
my wife, I like. Danny, we
Yeah, I
got
have a play
another.
on Georgia Tech because
Yeah,
Georgia's playing Georgia Tech. Uh,
rivalry week.
who cares how many points it is? Of course, of course, I'm going to take Georgia.
You
Of
know,
course,
I guarantee this is one I feel like Andy would probably be on the other side of, or like
of course he
it
would. Of
probably
course he would.
would end up
But
on his cutting room floor. But
and he
he'd
would be like,
be,
"This was on my cutting room floor," and you know what?
but he'd
The
be
reason it
leaning
was on his
Georgia
cutting
Tech.
room floor is because he would fucking lose it. It's
Yeah,
because that's why I was on his cutting room floor because he'd lose it because Georgia is going to win by 75 points because Georgia Tech sucks. You know who beat
yeah,
Georgia Tech? You know who beat Georgia Tech?
Miami.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's it. That's all I got. Move on.
yeah. It's too many points for me to lay, but yeah,
Hey,
I wish
hold
you
on.
well in your
One more question. One more question. Who beat Georgia Tech?
Miami.
All right, that's it. 35 and a half is not enough points to lay. I would have laid 70 for with Georgia.
Yeah. Um. So here, this next pick, I think you crazy for this one. Coastal Carolina at James Madison. You're taking Coastal Carolina without their
Yeah,
quarterback Grayson McCall, or sorry,
Grayson McCall.
Grayson
Yeah,
Allen, right?
no, Grayson McCall is their quarterback, but I'm taking Coastal Carolina. Grayson Allen, I'm saying, is actually the one who pushed the ladder. Uh,
In
I
Milwaukee,
I don't
yeah.
know if this
Yep.
joke is gonna hit in Milwaukee.
It's not. It's not.
It's not.
Danny's in the bag here, folks.
Yeah, damn it. So we planned that in advance, and I don't think
You
that's
nailed
gonna
it.
hit.
Yeah, you stuck the landing so good, bud.
Fuck.
Coastal Carolina plus 13.5.
Yeah,
Grayson
that's it.
McCall be damned. You're just going all in. I like it.
Honestly, I
I
don't
think
even like the pick. I liked the joke before we did it, and now I don't even want to do it. Fuck the pick. I don't want it.
fuck the pick. Okay.
Yeah, cancel it.
Coastal's backup quarterback went to my high school. Bryce
Well, that
Carpenter,
makes
I
me
believe
like
is
him
his name.
less.
So yeah, so it'll be the Bryce Carpenter, the Venice High show. So wish him
You know
luck
what?
in his. I'm assuming that's who's starting, and that's
I'm canceling this pick. So those of you doing the hashtag fade Danny, you need to take Coastal plus 13.5.
yeah, yeah. Danny's taking it off his board, which means it's hitting. I like it. Grayson Allen was the one that pushed the ladder, though.
He totally pushed the ladder for God damn it. That joke was gonna be good when we planned it. I can't believe I
It
fucked
wasn't. It
up.
was never going to be good, but it was. I'm sorry, it was never going to be good.
I
Too
can't
too
believe
niche. Too niche. Um. So Andy happened to have a couple picks in on this sheet. He's been busy this week, so he hasn't been able to be on the pod. But
yeah, he's at Disney
um,
World, but why would he fade USA? He's at Disney World.
yeah, on yeah. Well, this is USA on Saturday, so this is South Alabama. He's fading. He's gonna take 16 points with Old Dominion. So if you have been following Andy this season, because he's been hot as shit, that is one of two plays he's got on the sheet this week. Old Dominion plus 16.
If you're following me, don't listen to Andy. If you're following Andy, you're probably right. Uh,
um,
the next play is me. It's just Army minus 19.5 because fading mass works. I have
I
no
I
other
really
reason
like
for
this,
that.
Danny. I almost made this pick myself because I took Army minus 10 against UConn last week, and they covered easily. And I feel like this is the same story, um, just with even an even worse team. UMass doesn't
Well,
know how to
yeah, they're
cover
way
the option,
worse. Yeah, they're way worse. UMass doesn't know how to cover the fucking run, let alone the option.
and they certainly don't know how to cover the spread. So I think, fuck it. I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna add Army minus 19 and a half. It's a lot of points. That
Fuck
would
yeah,
be what
another
Andy would say. So
tornado. We should
easy
call
peasy.
this a hurricane.
Yeah,
When it's
we
just
got
you
a
and me,
few
it's a
hurricanes.
hurricane.
You and me. Fresno State and Army and
Did
UNC.
either of us hit our chuggy bet last week?
We both did.
God, we both have to tell each other to chug before the end of this.
Yeah, I guess. You want to do it right now?
I got one right here. Hold on,
Let's
wait.
chug.
What do you think about New Mexico and Liberty?
I would lay points with Liberty, but I mean it's not a pick, but that would be if I had to make a pick in that game.
Yeah, me too. All right, chug.
Okay.
Fuck New Mexico!
Oh, this is fun.
Drinking's the best.
All right, so we're already into the 3:30 slate on Saturday.
Is that how far we made it?
Yeah. So, well, we just skipped a whole bunch of games because we don't have plays for them. So let me just run through these. Let's do a little word association, okay? I'm going to tell you a matchup. You give me one word, first word that comes to mind. Ready?
Yeah, now I am.
Okay. East Carolina Temple,
Bad.
Kent State Buffalo,
Shooting.
Akron Northern Illinois,
Buffalo.
Rice North Texas,
Chinese food.
Troy Arkansas State.
My friend from high school, Troy Polamalu.
Okay. Louisville, Kentucky,
My cousins.
Oregon State.
Douchebags that drive electric cars.
Okay, and then UTSA.
Too many U's.
And let's wrap it up with a Hawaii San Jose State. What do you think?
Over.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, we just we just wrapped up all of those games that neither of us have plays on. The Oregon State game is probably the only one of significance that's worth um, actually talking about. I just don't like where the spread's at. I forget where it is, but it didn't entice
The
me.
answer is bet Oregon State because you don't want to.
Yeah, probably.
You don't want to,
Um,
so do it. You really don't want to. You hate it. You hate that line, so bet it.
yeah. One line I love is Wake Forest minus 3.5 against Duke. I kind of went into a fade Wake Forest, or at least a layoff Wake Forest, for several weeks because they seem to like not have their shit together, but they seem to have resolved that in the past 2 weeks. They put up like 80 points in those past 2 weeks. Um, and Duke, after a fun start, has fallen off as they are wont to do. So 3.5 is way too small of a line here. So I'm laying the 3.5 with Wake.
I shook my head a lot on that, but I actually love the minus 3.5 versus Duke. Another one of yours that are on the board as question marks is the under 38 on the Illinois Northwestern.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm doing that.
there's no way the Illinois and Northwestern combine for 20 points.
Yeah,
So how is that 38?
yeah.
There's no way
It's
the two of them score 3 touchdowns.
all
What are they?
all
What
all
what are they? What are they going to get? 17 safeties?
all three of the unders that I'm taking this week bottomed out lower than this and it bounced back actually. So um, I think I took a 37.5
Minnesota,
earlier that went
Wisconsin
down to
could
like
go over.
36.
I see you're under 36 on Minnesota, Wisconsin. I don't love that one.
Yeah, I'm still doing
That's
it.
a rough
So
one. You
so
could
yeah,
do that one.
so I'm
Illinois
doing
Northwestern should be set at 32.
yeah, I'm taking under 38 in Illinois Northwestern, as we just illustrated. And then I'm
Mm.
also taking under 36 in Minnesota, Wisconsin, just because we're talking Big Ten football. I'm already on two other unders that I don't feel great about. So let's just lock it up, all three. Maybe all three hit. That's what we're doing. And then there was some talk on the podcast last week. Danny took Baylor, I think plus 2.5 against TCU,
Danny would never
which
do such a thing.
covered, and that was a
Oh,
winner.
Danny totally did such a thing.
But his thought was that Baylor was going to win and they're going to upset TCU. And I said, I don't think this is the spot that happens. I think next week, meaning this week,
Oh,
was a prime spot for that to happen. And
that's
it's
right. So Baylor's
TCU.
still undefeated, or
TCU is.
TCU is.
Yeah. TCU,
So
I
I
think.
think TCU loses now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Iowa
So I
State
want
plus
on this
10.
Iowa State plus 10. I want on it.
Yeah. I think it's a great spot for TCU to be looking ahead to the Big 12 championship game and their spot in the playoffs. And maybe Iowa State says, hey, don't forget about us. So I do think
Oh, I
TCU's
don't
got
think
some
they
spunk.
win. I don't think Iowa State
Yeah.
wins this game.
Yeah. I think TCU's got some spunk. So I still think TCU will win this one, but I think Iowa State is very capable of covering 10-point spread here.
10 is too much, though.
Yeah. Let's do some reverse word association, Danny. Actually, let me hit up Andy's second pick. So we mentioned his Old Dominion play earlier. His second play that we've got on the sheet is Texas State plus 5.5 against Louisiana, those
Why the
raging
fuck is he
Cajuns.
doing that?
So I don't know, man. I don't know why he loves picking these obscure ones and taking the
He's
points, but
so
that's
good
Andy's
at
play.
it. Why is he
He is.
doing that?
So yeah, if you're listening to this, those are the two plays you should for sure lock in. Old
Why
Dominion
do I
plus
think for
16 or
myself
whatever it
instead of
was,
following Andy?
and Texas State plus 5.5. So yeah,
Matto! Way
Maddie,
to show up and not give a fuck about any of these games.
What's up, fellas?
Let's not
we're
give a
just
fuck about any of these games
we're
and
just
watch soccer.
we're just
Seems
trying
like
to
it's
do a
been
little word association to skip through the big gaping hole in the
Oh no, we
schedule,
already
the seven
finished
o'clock
everything.
window.
Oh, this
Um,
podcast was over. We're just
no,
finishing up.
we got the late night slate on Saturday still to go.
Great.
Do we really?
Yeah, you've got 3 picks left, Danny.
Motherfucker. I'm so drunk.
Oh,
I should not have gone to a concert tonight before we did this.
hey,
Jimmy Allen.
you
Thank
should go to a concert every night before we do this. Is what is
That's
the
another
actual
option.
truth.
That's another option.
Before you go through the picks, I want to drink this beer for Al. Putting in podcast work every day this week so
I
far.
know, full of double duty, baby.
Really putting in that work. Cheers, sir, to you.
Thank you, Al.
Yeah,
Thank
Thank
for
you,
your
Al, for
service.
covering for me while I was sick, but also just being you
yeah. Oh,
because you're
I
pretty.
love you. I love you.
All right, what game are we at? Let's get to betting.
Miami.
Miami
Hit it,
Pitt.
Miami. Danny's got
Please
to play
don't
here.
bet on. Yeah, of course I do. It's on Pitt. I don't have my sheet in front of me. I don't remember what I did, but don't bet on us.
I have your notes here, Danny. It says Miami plus 6.5 because you should all fade me because there's no way we cover. Who's QB for Pitt again? Is it Keaton Slovis or is he at West Virginia? I forget.
Isn't it Kenny
confused.
Slovic or Kenny Pitt or whatever?
Kenny
Keaton
Pickett's
Slovis is the quarterback
Pittsburgh.
at
Keaton
Pittsburgh,
Slovis.
who was
Yeah.
from USC.
Kenny
He's so bad. He's not good.
No, he hasn't been really good there. He's been surprisingly not good. But I also think it's Narduzzi's fault. I think he could take gold. And he takes chicken salad and actually turns it into chicken shit. He's like the opposite. He doesn't make the best of a bad situation. He makes a great situation terrible. For Auburn.
You don't want him making you a leftover Thanksgiving sandwich.
Look, and I say this when he has a great running back this year. Jordan Addison is killing at USC, and Kenny Pickett's in the league. So what the hell do I know? But he's dangerously close to being a Kirk Ferentz.
Ooh, I actually love that. That's great.
I'm coming out shooting hot take.
Yeah, not coming out dropping dimes. I love it. Let me ask you this: when do you think the last time a Kansas State football matchup in rivalry week was this entertaining or had this much hype about it?
Kansas State's
1920.
Yeah, it's been an age. It's when the Dust Bowl was occurring.
Oh, yeah.
It's when it's during the Dust Bowl when those games were being blacked out, like you couldn't see the plays that were happening.
They were blacked out by dust. It was the Grapes of Wrath Bowl.
It's exactly it. But I do have a play on it. I'm laying the points with Kansas State.
Yeah, give it.
Kansas State, I think it's the number's gotten to like 11.5 or 12. I think I saw it for 11.5, and I'm laying the 11.5 here. Kansas has had a really good season. Their coach re-upped his contract through 2029. So Lance Leipold is staying loyal to Kansas, even though he was going to be a super hot name everywhere. But Kansas State's got some.
He? Dumbass.
I don't know how old he is. He came from Wisconsin Whitewater.
He's
where
20. Dumbass is how old he is.
I feel like he's like 60 or something. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, 60 dumbass, whatever you want to call him.
I don't think he's that old.
Could be 30 dumbass. All right.
He's 58. He's 58.
Oh wow.
50 dumbass. The answer is 50 dumbass.
But I'm laying the point.
That means he's still got 20 years of coaching ahead of him.
If you think he's Saban.
He's done an incredible job this year. That's for sure.
Not everybody is Nick Saban, guys.
But
they mostly aren't.
Look, we're getting away from my point. Kansas State's really good. They lock up this win in the conference. They lock up the conference. I don't think they've locked up the conference yet. I think Texas has a backdoor chance of making the championship game to the Big 12. And I think Kansas State thinks they can beat TCU because they should have beat TCU. This is a really good team. Danny's eating a meatloaf. Oh my God, is that black toast?
It's the most burnt grilled cheese you've ever seen in your life. It's his second, I think his third one. I think it's third burnt grilled cheese, and it's covered in hot sauce and ketchup. It looks like.
That's good. That's a good point.
Matt, do you want us to circle back to any games you've got picks on?
Can can I take the next one?
You absolutely can.
Yeah, so 9 o'clock, I think. We're going to San Diego to Snapdragon Stadium, baby. We got
Ooh.
two of the most boring teams you can watch. Not nearly as exciting as any burnt grilled cheese sandwich, that's for sure. We got Air Force and we got San Diego State. I'm laying the points here with Air Force. I don't like watching San Diego State. I think Air Force has got something to play for in the Mountain West. And while I'm saying I would call the Air Force boring, and I feel like I shouldn't have said that. That doesn't seem right. They're 8-3 overall. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I think
Finishing
they're
off.
the most exciting, the most entertaining of the military academies.
Mhm.
That's
But
mean.
I also think I also
That's
so.
mean. UCF is a military academy.
Oh,
Mm,
okay.
okay.
Well,
They
I think
sent people to the moon.
To the moon.
that Air Force is the play here. I think Air Force is better offensively. They're both going to be pretty good defensively. Lay the 1.5.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I'm not going to lock it in here, but I'll probably be doing some chasing at 9 p.m. on Saturday, and that'll include that one.
Be hungry.
I will be doing some
Um,
chasing. We'll see.
Danny, do you want to give us your thoughts on your 10:30 play here, Washington State?
I think you know.
If you don't have
I
if you
think
don't
you
have the
know.
notes in front of you,
I think you know my notes.
yeah,
I don't need my notes in
yeah.
front of me. I think you know my notes.
Danny is taking Washington
Whose
State
flag?
plus two and a
Whose
half
flag is better? Whose
because of
flag
the
is better?
flag. Because
Whose
of the
flag is
flag.
better?
Yeah,
Whose flag is better? No, what's the
Wazoo.
line? I don't know the line.
2.5.
2.5. Okay, I'm gonna lay the 2.5. Why?
You're taking the 2.5 with Washington State because of the
Oh, I
flag.
get 2.5.
2.5.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I get 2.5. Why? Cause
Why?
my
All
flag
right.
is better.
I want to posit a question here before we hit the last game of the week. Um, look over the schedule, and each of you guys tell me, what do you think is the burnt grilled cheese sandwich match of the week? What
Ooh,
is the
that's
like grossest burnt grilled cheese? You're gonna watch it. It's gonna be on your TV, but it's disgusting. And you don't want it. No, nobody should be watching it. What's that matchup?
Louisville, Kentucky, without Malik Cunningham as the quarterback. I don't want to watch it and look
Ooh.
on. I don't like watching. I've made the Levi's joke 8 times, right? Washington distressed. I know he'll be a first round pick, and good luck to whoever drafts him. And if he ends up being great, I will chug a beer.
Dude, I don't want to watch much college football at all this week.
I'm gonna watch the there's some rivalry games. Of course, I'm gonna watch the Florida State Florida game because that game always gets me in my blood.
I know,
Um,
I know. That's
Michigan,
probably the only
Ohio
game I
State.
watch.
Michigan,
Probably the only
Ohio
game I watch.
State. It has huge stakes.
Even that, man, I'm like I'm on World Cup this week, and then once this shit's over, I'm on family time.
Well, there's still the NFL. Never forget. Papa Goodell. Papa Goodell's always got you whenever you need a little hug.
No. If I need a hug, at Papa and Tua Tagovailoa is throwing a touchdown to my boy, then I will watch it. But I don't know. I think I'm. I think
Oh,
this might be
I
a
almost
soccer.
My
hate to
my
say this.
my. Oh,
It's a
I was gonna
soccer
say
week, boy.
my burnt grilled cheese matchup of the week is definitely Illinois Northwestern because that one's going to be like 3-0, the real stinker.
I have one more, and I almost regret saying it because thank you for your service. But Army UMass, Army I pass is what I would call that game. I don't like it at all. Like that's
We
I'm
both
happy.
lay the points.
I'm happy Army's going to win. Army, I'm assuming is the
Yeah,
favorite there.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
19.5. That's a lot.
We both laid the points.
Lay them all. Lay 100. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like, how many points do I have to lay for Army to win this? Okay, I don't need those.
Nope, just Lamb. That's a
How
good
many
one.
does Mass need to win them? Okay, I don't
Final
need those
All
game.
right.
points.
Final game I see. We have BYU Stanford. Danny has a pick, but he doesn't really explain it. Danny, why are you laying 6.5 with BYU?
Cause
We're-
fuck BYU. I don't remember.
Because
is it
Stanford sucks.
can I try to be Danny for a second?
Yes.
Let me see if I can do a Danny impression. I've been betting Stanford all year. I've been telling you that their offense is going to be good, right?
Oh,
And
it's against
clearly,
Stanford. You didn't
yeah,
tell me it was against Stanford. You said it was for BYU. I know why I picked this. It's cause
you picked BYU.
yeah, but it's against Stanford, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know why I picked this. It's because like in week 1, I thought Stanford was good, but I was wrong.
And it took you all the way until the very last week of the season to
Week
put that
13, we
puzzle
made it. We
together.
made amends, baby.
You
We
got it
made
there,
amends. We're
baby.
getting
We
better
got
every
there at
week.
the end.
Is this the first week I picked against Stanford?
I don't know. You picked
Maybe.
Stanford 4 times, I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
This
You
has
pe-
gotta
you
be. This has gotta
you
be
definitely
like the
were
ninth
stubborn about
time I
it.
picked it. Okay,
I
I'm
actually
with you
But
guys.
love this bet, by the way. BYU minus 6.5. I'm probably going to
I
join you
love
on.
it too. I love it too.
yeah. Late night chase. If you're looking for a late night chase parlay, BYU, Air Force, as a little parlay, maybe Washington State because of the flag. If you need a third leg.
Whatever you
One
do,
more,
whatever you do, fade all my picks. Don't listen to anything I said in the
I
last
honestly think
2 hours.
very drunk Danny might be good at this.
I
You
think,
might
I
have
think
a winning week on your hands, but
I promise you, the only thing very drunk Danny is good at is making really, really big bets on things that he's not telling people about.
I thought you were gonna say burnt grilled cheeses. Making really, really burnt grilled cheeses.
I told you guys about this grilled cheese, so like obviously you know about it. So it's not something that's good.
can I get one more bet in there that I really like?
Yeah, get a several in.
I'm gonna lay the points with Boise State against Utah State. Boise State has been much, much better as the year gone on. They are undefeated in the conference.
I
They are
hate
gonna
that you're
probably
picking the same things I like.
they are
Yeah.
going to let I think they're gonna put it on Utah State. Utah State is 6-5, right? They started off real weird, didn't play very well at the beginning of the year. It's the Mountain West, man. It's the best conference you can watch in football. It's the
Yeah.
best in football money. But
God,
eight
this
and three and
computer's
seven
so
and zero.
hot.
I think they're
We
going to try to finish off strong, and they're the better team here. They've proven to be a very good defense ever since the shuffle and the shenanigans that happened like week 4 or week 5. So
yeah.
um, I'm going to lay the 17. I know it's a big number, but I think that's probably the right side there. I see
Yeah, I
that
agree.
being a
I think
20
it's the
point
right
spread,
side.
a 20 point or 21 point difference.
Hey, how did you guys feel about Mbappe just like fucking kicking balls over the goal from like 4 feet in front of it?
He looked a little off today, but it didn't matter because they still wagoned him.
Yeah. He put one in with his noggin.
He
He
did.
did, but it felt weird when he was like the foot. He was just kicking it high, right?
Yeah. Remember the other day when I said, you know, who's an interesting golden boot winner, Al? And I said, Olivier Giroud.
Giroud, yeah.
And you're
Dude,
2
like,
goals.
he's 40 years old. And I'm like, yes, but he always seems to find the ball and put it right
I
in the goal.
fucking love
Yeah.
him. He's. I'm sorry. You
Olivier
know how
Giroud.
you know how I love handsome guys, right?
He is
You guys
handsome.
know he's just so. Is he the? I mean, rank the guys. Rank the guys that you've seen so far play. It's got to be like him number 1. Iran striker number 2.
Oh, that guy is handsome.
I don't
Saudi
think I've
Arabia's
seen him.
coach. Saudi Arabia's coach.
Oh God, Saudi's coach has not got to be number 3.
Ramadan.
He might be number 1 actually.
Wait, is
He's a
that the guy that looks like Nate from Ted Lasso?
no,
Yes.
he's the guy I sent in like a private group chat that's
Yeah.
like he's the most attractive coach.
Yes. Who looks
And
like
Oh.
Nate?
I saw him, and
No, not
he
Nate from Ted Lasso. Not Nate from Ted Lasso. Not
One of
not.
the coaches looks like Nate from Ted Lasso.
Yes, but not. That's not the most attractive person in football.
Correct.
no Herb Renard. What were we talking about? Did you guys talk about
No, we're talking about the 4 most attractive people in football. We only have 3 of them.
mm,
We
players.
can't go Harry Kane as 4. That would be wrong.
No, he's not.
I mean,
I mean,
we don't even know
Ronaldo's
Iran
boring.
striker's name.
Ronaldo's too
We don't
old
even know.
and
Oh,
rapey.
Ronaldo's too old. He hasn't even scored a goal yet. Dude,
I know Mehdi Taremi, if that's who you're talking about. He is handsome. Mehdi
Taremi, you're talking about Iran's guy?
Yeah, he plays for Porto and he puts goals in Champions League.
You're talking about Iran's striker. Dude, yeah. That guy is fucking. I'm sorry. I'm a gay man, married and with 2 children, and I guess I'm gay.
Looking. He kind of looks like
that is a fucking good looking man.
He kind of looks like Hassan Minaj or whatever.
I don't know what those words mean.
A comedian.
Did you guys talk about? Oh, sorry, we're trying to figure out the 4th one still. Are we gonna die here?
No, it's fine. We can move on. This is not a soccer podcast.
Did you talk about Lane Kiffin at all? The shenanigans going on there?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Shortly.
Him trolling the
reporter. Not enough, Matt.
I know. Trolling the reporter was so good.
It was just classic Lane Kiffin.
I want Lane Kiffin to be my coach at Miami so bad, and he never will be because he's just so fit perfectly at Ole Miss.
Yep, I think he's happy there. It just means more, the paycheck.
Even if he leaves, I'm happy wherever he goes at this point.
Who ends up at Auburn then?
I don't think Cadillac Williams is doing that bad of a job. I mean, if you can't find, I don't think he's a bad option.
But do you think the boosters are okay? Just like rolling.
It's a big job, Danny. A lot of people care. Like it's a top 15 job.
No, I meant like I don't care is what I meant.
Oh no, I care. I heard that Deion was being considered, but not for that job. They were saying USF and Colorado.
Wait, Deion's not being considered for Auburn?
No.
Supposedly.
They didn't offer Deion Auburn?
No.
I saw something about like Auburn. They have issues with his like some financial shit.
What are your favorite bets of the week? Have you done ChuggieBets?
Oh yeah.
My favorite bet of the week is the next Auburn coach is white.
Mine is Wake Forest -3.5.
Decidedly less. Didn't even offer Deion.
Decidedly less.
Offer Deion.
Buddy, I'm not a friggin' reporter. I'm just saying that he's been.
I know you're just saying what you heard. You're just saying what you heard, but you heard they didn't even offer him.
I don't know if they offered him.
Dude, if they didn't,
I'm saying he's gotten 2 good offers from Colorado and USF. I don't want him at USF at all.
Bro, if Deion's offers are Colorado and USF, fuck college football.
I mean, Danny, we're not even to the off season yet.
I'm sure it'll heat up.
We can wait. We can.
Deion got the #1 recruit in the nation to go to a HBC.
He should stay. He should stay at Jackson.
He should stay there and just fucking beat everybody. That's what Deion should do. He should stay there and beat everybody.
You think Deion's ever been complacent? You think he's ever just fine? You don't. He seems like the classic person who's always trying to do something that's more challenging.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He should stay there and beat everybody. He should stay there and beat everybody. I hope he stays there and beats everybody. I want to donate to wherever Deion is right now. Fuck.
But I do think there's more to what he sees in coaching than simply the money aspect or the wins and losses aspect. Even though he's doing great in the win column, you know, I think being at an HBCU and being able to draw talent there too is something that's not to be.
Oh no, I don't think
quickly dismissed. You know,
scoffed at it all. I think like kudos to him for the whole approach, and if he's actually believes in it, I think it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
If that's his passion, I think it's great. Yeah, make sure to follow us. We appreciate all y'all. Thanks for following us. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
But before we go, good night, Joey. Cheers.
Night, night, Joey. Cheers.